Hello, everyone. Greetings and welcome to Tech Talk. Firstly, we'd like to thank our media partners, K Media Marketing, Borneo Post, Oriental Daily, Sihua Daily, Utusan Borneo, Sunday Post, and TFM. Um, Welcome back to our Tech Talk. This is your front row seat to the ideas and innovations shaping our digital future. Today, we are diving into something um, big, the IBO International Blockchain Organization, IBO Malaysia Chapter Expo, where innovation meets opportunity. This isn't just another tech event, it's where blockchain meets business, where startups meet investors, and where ideas meet the real world. This conversation is going to connect the dots between innovation, opportunity, and the future of blockchain right here in Malaysia. Today with us, we have Mr. Kyle Tam, the Chief Event and Training Officer for IBO Malaysia. And we have Mr. Rolf Reisiger, the Chief Business Development Officer of IBO Malaysia. Over to you, Kyle.
All right. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for tuning in to Borneo Post Online, and it's a great pleasure. Thank you so much, Vijay, for the brief introduction of IBOM and me and Mr. Rolf. And it's such a great pleasure to join all of you here on this online platform to talk about an innovation, or maybe to demystify some of the things about blockchain that has always been talked about but never got to know in detail. So representing the International Blockchain Organization Malaysia, my name is Kyle Tam, and I serve the organization as the Chief Events and Training Officer. So, in regards to disseminating information to educating the public about what blockchain is and how people can get involved, in case you are interested, that's basically under my portfolio. So, back to you, Vijay, or maybe Rolf. How about you? Your turn to introduce.
Over to you, Rolf.
Thank you. So my name is Rolf Reisiger. I'm the Chief Business Development Officer at IBO Malaysia, International Blockchain Malaysia. What we try to aim for, first of all, at IBO is to help people transit or bridge from Web 2 to Web 3. We have a lot of Web 2 companies that are interested in going into Web 3. Maybe they want to decentralize part of it, like payment systems, or they want to use AI. You can integrate AI into Web 2, Web 3. You can call it then Web 2.5. So it makes it a very user-friendly experience for people. So the important thing, first of all, is to educate people, to build networks, to build communities that are working together, sharing, and becoming a big momentum. And by incubating startups, small businesses, help them expose them to venture capitalists, VC, to pitch for their project. We have some great projects coming up. We have then a lot of people interested. We try to matchmake this. So it's been a real interesting journey this year. This year a lot has happened. We managed to put together so much in very short period of time. So this year, it's a lot is happening, and the next few years will be crucial. The train is really moving. So if people want to be involved, get involved now. Start to learn, start to train, start to take interest, and we will try to guide you on this journey. And yeah, let's grow together.
Thank you, Rolf. Thank you so much, Rolf. That was very nice. Now, there are 4 segments to today's Tech Talk. The first segment is the opportunities and impact of blockchain. Okay. Now, and IBO here in the Malaysian chapter. So, I have a question for you, Rolf. Why is Malaysia the perfect stage for a global blockchain expo at this moment in time?
I think, first of all, it's good policy making. The government has shown a very high initiative when it comes to AI. AI in agriculture, for example, to digitize and make it more efficient, safer, they're building on blockchain, and blockchain is a very safe source to store information, and it's like a seal of approval. I think it's becoming clear and it's penetrating slowly. By calling it AI instead of saying blockchain, Web3, people get very skeptical. You know, they always think it's scamming. I would say money gaming maybe, but we're not in money gaming. You know, so the policy and like my digital, where you have opens for digital blockchain adoption, in that you get the people, the population, to become more digital streamlined, to adopt technology, to embrace it. And we can see the momentum is massive. And with the government's initiative here, it's so important because it gives credibility. Another thing is, of course, is geography. In Malaysia, being multicultural, multilingual, and being like in the center of ASEAN, it's like bridging east and west. And you will also find that it's very cost effective. People who want like startups or investors, they can see compared to maybe other places in the region, they find Malaysia very cost efficient or affordable. That they see that they can come in here and set up something at a reasonable budget. I think that's also very important and a massive benefit for Malaysia. So it's like really connecting Web 2 to Web 3, and why can't Malaysia be the obvious choice in ASEAN?
Of course, yes. Do you have anything to add on to that, Kyle?
Oh, yes, definitely. So as you know, and in the recent years, we see adoption of blockchain technology, Web3 space is actually really talked about every parts of the world. So especially when it comes to Malaysia being the heart of the the Asia Pacific, okay, that we actually launched this and actually we get tractions and attentions from businesses and projects around the world. Everyone will be able to touch base in Malaysia and be able to spread this trend, this inevitable trend, even further out there. So we would like to believe that Malaysia is a perfect launchpad for the blockchain technology, so that we'll be able to communicate and spread the word, and most importantly, the awareness, the benefit of blockchain. So that's why this is such an important time for Malaysia, for us, for the entire country to actually push this agenda.
Thank you, Kyle. Now, to add on to that, I have a question for you, Kyle. For businesses tuning in, what are the real opportunities can blockchain create today, not just in theory?
Right. Now, so as I was saying just now, we are in the heart of the Asia Pacific, and because our, in terms of our geography, in terms of our political and climate is so positive that it supports this entire thing. So a lot of businesses will be wondering, like, how can I benefit and be involved in this game as well, you know? So, and to make it short, okay, I think all businesses first will need to do a little bit more homework, okay, to first understand what exactly blockchain is all about, okay, educate themselves, really find out what blockchain is all about, and really find out how they will be able to streamline their businesses and to adopt such blockchain technology. So I'm just going to give a really quick example, not in theory, but in practice. Okay, all businesses will be able to benefit first and foremost cross-border payments. Okay, now all of us know that if we want to do international business is the way to go. All right, if businesses are looking into this part, then when it comes to the movement of payment of monetary resources, okay, traditionally we probably are looking at a few some of the challenges, like it takes extra processing time. You need to go through additional intermediaries. The cost is a little bit higher. It takes a really long time to transfer payment. Well, with blockchain technology, cross-border payment can be made much easier. In fact, in split seconds, the other opposite party will be able to accept the payment. Okay, and imagine what will that do to businesses who look at expansion. Right? Now, that's only one of it. But of course, there's a lot more things, like, for example, supply chain transparency, where their goods are coming from, where do they buy from, how they accountable to every stakeholder of their business. Okay, everything is recorded in the blockchain. They will be able to log into the chain and they'll be able to find the transactions. Okay, and these transactions, because of blockchain technology, it's not editable. Okay, they cannot amend. No one can amend information there. Therefore, communicating more trust and credibility in business transaction. But if that's not enough, ladies and gentlemen, all businesses today, well, all businesses today are looking for additional capital, right? If they want to expand their business, if they want more resources, they will be able to achieve this using blockchain technology. Okay, they'll be able to, blockchain technology will be able to offer new ways to raise capital. Okay, how? Tokenization. Okay, now there's a lot more details about tokenization. Probably I do not want to bore our audience with the details, but know that this is a new form, a modern way of financing that businesses will be able to do this. All right. Now, having said all these three big things, okay, there are a lot more benefits, such as building loyalty, membership programs. All these are very possible with blockchain technology, and all this, ladies and gentlemen, is not theory. Okay, a lot of businesses are already doing it. It's how fast you're gonna catch on this game.
Thank you, Kyle.
Vijay.
Yeah, thank you, Kyle. To those of our audience who are listening in, again, blockchain is a decentralized digital ledger that securely records transactions across a network of computers. It uses cryptography to ensure transparency, immutability, and trust without intermediaries. Each block contains data linked to the previous one, forming a chain that prevents tampering, enabling applications like cryptocurrencies, supply chain, and smart contracts. So, back to the show again. Now let's touch the segment of policy and trust. Rolf, how do you strike the balance between regulation and innovation?
I think compliance and innovation must work together. Uh, IBO would try to act as a bridge, how to translate innovation for regulators and regulators for businesses so that they understand, and that by talking to regulators early, get them to adapt to the idea, get them to back up the idea, make sure that we're on the right path. So we're looking at the same page. So we don't go in one direction and later we hit hurdles and obstacles. The same with businesses. They need to understand, where they need to have a tidy approach. And the better, the more transparent, because blockchain is so transparent. And when they understand the transparency of it and start to trust it, government would also then feel more comfortable in embracing this and lift it further. But what we all worried about, we can see this in the background, is this, oh, it's a scam, is someone trying to do this, through that. We need to keep tidying it up. I can see the momentum is now so massive, so there's no question if blockchain regulatory is not going to happen. It just is happening. It just happened yesterday. And for people to start to really believe in it, and government it's a trust, it's a mutual trust.
Right.
That's all I can really say about it.
Yeah. Thank you, Rolf. Kyle,
Yes.
what's Malaysia's role in shaping global trust and governance in blockchain?
Okay, that's the challenge, right? A lot of
Yes.
when it comes to the adoption of new things like that, people do not know exactly what it is. Okay, and people start talking about it, and people want to hop onto it. Okay, so now I
They
think
better follow than lead, right?
exactly, yeah, okay, and not blindly following the lead. Okay, so they need to actually build this global trust and governance, and as far as blockchain is concerned. And now that we are claiming that, now that we are actually the heart of this Asia Pacific in regards to adoption, blockchain adoption. So I think what Malaysia's role is now. From on behalf of IBO, our perception is that it is actually taking on a balanced approach. Okay, Malaysia is pretty much a trust testbed. Okay, now that we have unique strength in certain financial, like for example, Islamic finance and ESG. Okay, we are pretty much integrating ethical standards into blockchain. Okay, how we're going to make this happen is by amplifying Malaysia's role globally. Okay, with our diversity and our balanced governance. Just now Rolf have talked about innovation and compliance. Okay, how we're going to maintain this balanced approach between being able to innovate and at the same time be able to maintain the compliance in this entire new sphere. Okay, we want to actually make it a trusted voice. Okay, I think that's what Malaysia can really play into this. Okay, now that the climate is right, the time is right, okay, the trend is inevitable, I think that's what Malaysia can actually play a huge role by actually starting this movement and be a part of this movement.
Okay.
Back to you, Vijay.
Thank you, Kyle. Now let's look at the technology and the transformation aspect of this IBO Malaysia chapters expo. Right now, Rolf, what breakthrough blockchain solutions are we going to see at the expo that could reshape industries?
I think the real buzzword at the moment is RWA, real world assets, and
Mhm.
tokenizing of it. That means if you have a property project, you can tokenize this project into units, and these units can be traded by using smart contracts. So somebody offer a unit or a project for sale, price is agreed on, money is transferred, smart contract kicks in, and deal is settled. And this can happen 24/7 all over the world. That makes a project accessible and available to a very large audience with a payment system which is very safe and proven. And I can see it's to go decentralized. It's opening so much opportunities rather than staying centralized or traditional as we know of today. Um, yeah, ESG, traceability, Malaysia Madani, all these 6 pillars
Mhm.
that really it's about trust, sustainability, well-being, yeah, and yeah. So IBO would like to be a connector in that in this.
If
Right.
I, if I may add, Mr. Vijay, to what Rob said,
Please, yeah, go ahead.
a very interesting thing is in the blockchain world, the market is 24/7. Okay, you don't even need to wait for the stock market to open or close at a certain time.
Mhm.
It's actually 24/7. And that alone, that technology and that feature alone of blockchain technology allows business to trade limitless, borderless. Okay, it's truly what we have been preaching in the business world, borderless trading and timeless trading. We don't even need to be confined to a specific time scope that we need to operate. Okay, it's 24/7, 365 days a year. So it's definitely going to open doors to businesses and industries.
Okay.
Back to you,
Kyle,
Vijay.
yeah, thank you, Kyle. Kyle, how is blockchain? I think Rolf touched on this subject, but could you just kindly elaborate? How is blockchain redefining sustainability from ESG commitments to achieving SDGs?
Now, okay, all right. Now, so thanks, Rolf, for picking that up. Okay. Now, when it comes to the ESG and sustainability, all of us know that all corporations has a role to play in the society. Okay. The corporate giants, they are actually having the sustainability goals, but how are they communicating it to people out there? Okay, is it through their annual reports, their sustainability report, and whatnot? Guess what? With blockchain technology, we will be able to record all this kind of information, how they're going to do business, so that it's fully transparent. So, on that note, BJ, you have actually done us a really great favor earlier by actually telling us that blockchain technology is the journal, or you can see it as a digital ledger online that is open for everyone to check, and no one will be able to change the data in this ledger. Okay, now I would say near to impossible to change the data in the ledger. So everything that the organizations are contributing or doing towards the sustainability agenda in aligning to the SDGs, okay, or the ESG commitments, okay, everything will be recorded in this chain, in this ledger, all right, and everybody will be able to look at it, will be able to check it, and be able to verify it. Now, tell me, what's the benefit of doing that? They will actually increase the transparency of organizations out there. How are they contributing to the ESG commitments or their goals? Are they really holding on to their words? All right. So that is by itself is supporting the agenda of sustainability in the entire world. And by using such technology, traceability is no longer an issue. Companies cannot just come out and claim whatever they want to claim, okay, just for the benefit of gaining trust from their stakeholders, but knowing that the other side will be able to will be able to check and balance as well. So I think that is something that Rolf is trying to point to it. Okay, transparency, traceability, and if we are looking into the ESG, right, the environmental, that's the business transaction. How about when it comes to the underserved communities? Okay, what are the organizations doing? What are businesses doing? Are they including financial inclusion as they claim? People will be able to check in this this public ledger. All right, then yeah, pretty much that's how it contributes to the sustainability agenda. I wouldn't say only in Malaysia, but entire world, in the business community, in the corporate world. So that's how it contributes to sustainability. Back to you, Vijay.
Thank you, Kyle. Now let's look at the aspect of the future and the talent. Rolf, in the next 3 to 5 years, where do you see blockchain making the biggest impact across ASEAN?
Stable coins.
Hmm?
Stable coins.
Stable coins. Wow, that's a
Yes.
one-word answer. Could you kindly elaborate?
We need to get from, in order to do, to be in blockchain or Web3, if you want to do cross-border trade and payments, it will happen in some sort of currency. So the
Right.
easiest place to start is to exchange your ringgit to Malaysia ringgit coin or to USDT or whatever, or you know you convert it to stable coins. With stable coins, you are able to travel around the world. This will happen in the next few years, that you have one currency, you travel around the world, you can do trade, you don't have to use your card, pay commission and fee every time you pay with your card. You pay with stable coins. They're already converted from fiat. And when you finish or you want to convert it back, you just do the reverse process. It's called on-ramping, fiat to stable coins, off-ramping, stable coin to fiat. And then you can cash out in hard currency if you need that still. So simply, yeah, and IBO would like to be in the center of that, bridging nations and industries together. Yeah, 3 to 5, a lot will change for sure.
Okay, thank you.
If I may add on, okay, we also talked about digital identity. All right. So being in a blockchain, like what I said, is a transparent ledger. Okay. So everyone will be able to, actually fortify their digital identity. Okay. And how that, for example, we have my Sejahtera, right? Every one of us will have a login, and it actually identifies with us. So that's one example of a blockchain technology function. Okay. Everyone will be able to identify themselves. Then we will be able to avoid things such as, well, high chances of avoiding or preventing the risk of identity theft or phishing, scamming, and etc. So these are what we believe that the blockchain will be able to contribute to, because of the trust that it's building in our society. Okay, and with that, hopefully we will be able to achieve a healthier and more safe community or a society as a whole. Back to you, Vijay.
Thank you, Kyle. Now, just to provide some clarifications to Rolf's answer, stable coins. Now, stable coins are a type of digital money, cryptocurrency, designed to keep their value steady, unlike Bitcoin or Ethereum, which can go up and down a lot. So they are usually tied or pegged to something stable like the US dollar, gold, or other assets. For example, one stable coin can equals to $1. So people
Yep.
use stable coins for payments, trading, and saving without worrying about wild price changes. So to give a little bit of clarity on Rolf's statement, And Kyle, back to you again.
Yeah.
For young talents and startups watching, how can they plug into the IBO ecosystem and go global?
All right. Now, when it comes to new things like this, okay, a lot of people will get excited. They want to know about it, and some of them will actually, especially the young ones, young talents, okay, and of course startups as well. They will actually want to ride the wave. They want to be a part of it without doing too much due diligence, okay, just because they want to be the first wave riding it, okay. So now it is important, I think, that for young talents and startups watching our podcast tonight, our broadcast tonight, is that number one, really, really get education. Okay, really, really educate yourself and do very, very thorough due diligence in regards to blockchain technology. Okay, and that is something that our IBOM Malaysia is actually pushing this agenda. We want to give value to the society. We want it to be more than just a Google search or a ChatGPT search. Okay, so we want to give credible information, and I think that's how you guys will be able to plug into the IBO ecosystem. One thing, like what I said, I'm the Chief Events and Training Officer. We are actually looking into pushing out or rolling out a lot of education programs to educate people out there. What exactly is blockchain technology? Okay, and how people can be engaged with it or be involved in it responsibly. Okay. Now, given our economic climate, okay, be it in Malaysia or in the entire world, I think it is important that people have this awareness, okay, and be guided in the right direction, be mentored, okay. So this is something that the IBO ecosystem will be able to provide value to everyone out there, to all our listeners tonight at this evening. And of course, for startups, okay, in the event that we're looking into investor matching, we're looking into funding. How can we use funding or some ecosystem that be able to grow the business well? All right, that is something that is up for discussion as well. All right, so look for the right help, get educated, be in the right community that will be able to support your ideas, your vision of the business, and that's how I think everyone here will be able to plug into. But most importantly, is to do due diligence and really, really go through very, very good education and not just a Google search or a ChatGPT as response away.
Thank you, Kyle. So we have reached to the end of our show. What a powerful conversation that we have had with Kyle and with Rolf. The IBO Malaysia Expo is clearly more than an event. It's a launchpad for innovation, collaboration, and global opportunity. Whether you're a startup, founder, an investor, a policymaker, or just someone curious about the future of tech, this is the place where the next big blockchain stories begin. Thank you for tuning into Tech Talk, where technology and opportunity meet. Thank you to our guests, Mr. Kyle Tam and Mr. Rolf Reisiger. Until next time, keep dreaming, keep building, and keep making the future happen today. Thank you.
Thank you very much,
Thank you.
Mr. DJ.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Have a good night.